I'm going to look at the euro to the dollar, and the euro to the Swiss, and the euro and the dollar to the Swiss. So this is like a tripod, I suppose, of some sort. You could do the same thing with the euro to the yen and the dollar to the yen and the, that tripod. So this one, I'm just looking at this fact that they unpegged that Swiss, and now it seems to have its own float to it, and it seems to have its own kind of makes sense. I guess, I don't know. In other words, if you went to the weekly of this, you'd see that they retraced all the way to that top, and now we're in a triangle on the weekly, and that big unloading of that just kind of brought this thing back to being a free market almost, being a normal situation. If we zoom out one more level here and look at the wicks on this, so that's the this is in a tight range. That Swiss franc slaughtered the dollar more than it slaughtered the euro as far as a spike entry. So if you were diversifying on this buying the black swan kind of trading, where you're putting in a buy limit at support and you have enough orders to withstand, and taking the ATR of the year, this is going back 5 years of ATR. This is a doable price here. So that was pretty crazy. But had you traded super deep and super small, you could have withstood that. And then for this one, looking back, I don't know if there's a lower low we've ever seen here. I don't know how far back the data goes. Apparently that's like the low. And that was certainly a deal. Now, wick, that's 100 pips, these dotted lines. So that's... if we drill down on this crazy event, which, not to say you can't just keep retesting that zone, that's an amazing move. That's just simply amazing. Never seen anything like it. Maybe never see anything like it again, but certainly that's a doable price now, whatever that price might be. Yeah, it's down there. And then go to the dollar Swiss. We never had that happen. So we put in if you're a trend line, certainly on the monthly, you can draw that on the bar. But then again, that's just a moment. That might just be a moment in time, because the other trend line that you always want to draw is on close. So if you draw both, your trading plan gets more complicated. But it's better. That's why when the market makes a hammer or an inverted hammer or a hammer, that's the ultimate, because then everybody agrees that that is the trend line. So that is the dollar to the Swiss. And I think the dollar's cooked. I think the dollar has never been more cooked, because the Swiss franc, the Swiss franc's never been more cooked, because the dollar is going to kill the Swiss franc. And gold's going to go down. But the euro's going to go up too. So, I mean, the dollar is going to kill the Swiss franc, and the idea that gold is the Swiss franc, gold was tied to Swiss very much. Like, you think of Swiss gold, you think of like not only very high quality or whatever, just kind of like historically a legacy of security. A Swiss bank account, gold, they make cheese, they don't beat the hell out of each other. At least in my mind, if I had to retire and I went to Switzerland, it wouldn't be so bad, So anybody that's Swiss, anybody break me off a chunk of Swiss cheese, I'm into Swiss cheese. Cheddar, all right, it's got a lot of fireworks, but sharp cheddar out of New York, maybe, right? And take a look at that monthly dollar to the euro. Now this, everybody's calling for par. Not to say you can't bounce off this 99 cents. Just so, yeah, below par there. And the monthly. So this could go into free fall. Definitely, this could have an issue. But this is a range trader's dream. The next, this whole area in here, just looking at the monthly, certainly this double top seemed to be where the buyers came in pretty heavy on the hedge fund stuff, I'm sure. And this bottom here would have been the other place to load the wagon and call for more money to be added to your account. Had you blown up your account trying to buy this bottom, certainly the euro at $1.03 is crazy off of this low. Swing low on the monthly, 1 period moving average on top of a bar chart is basically what I'm running. Like this low here. My God. And then when it took out the wicks, let's not forget the people that had stops there at 118, which is right on close here. So that window is a big deal. And then you could always break out a rectangle here. I think you got to add it to the platform. I don't think it comes in the default settings. So you'd think as far as window entries, that's a whole nother way to think about it. But golly, what a story. And this, Swiss, looks like dollar's going to kill Swiss back up to here. And then as far as this one goes, my predictions are that euro could just end up getting obliterated by the Swiss. It's kind of like a war of the circle war there. But yeah, if you can't take out that, I guess we're still on this channel. I've seen these pauses before where you just think, yeah, it's going to make it might make a spike up, but geez, wow. What damage. This one's making new lows if you're going to go with that kind of trend analysis. Yeah, it's in a downtrend. Not to say you can't fade it, but I guess we all have to accept the fact that Swiss franc, of course, this is just another range trader's dream, really. I mean, who's trading this monthly chart? What are you, nuts? Let's go to a viable. So yeah, this is tight. This is going to be, that's great. But look at that. Jeez, oh, Pete, man. Look at these ba-bam, ba-bam. And then it's just kind of like, gosh. Look how hard look how there's no volatility. I mean, I made fun of this currency trading, but look at this. Are you kidding me? I'm astounded. This is the most astounding currency pair on the planet. Euro versus Swiss. Wow. This is like Canadian versus the dollar when they're just neighbors that are just beating the hell out of each other. Look at that. Wow, we have a little issue, huh? A Trojan horse there. Oof. So that could really go wrong for the euro, especially if that Greece thing. I mean, I guess that's the news that would give you, if you build your channel off that wick, talking about that euro Swiss going down in a just insaneville. See, it is going to insaneville, so you have to reset that scale to hard there, come like this, and project real deep. And then if you fix that scale at this point, now you can come in. I think you can stretch. No, it won't let you. Because it's 100 pip handles. Who's thinking this far in advance? But yeah, to come into this monthly, pretty frightening, and then go to the weekly. Wow, that thing is just out of control. Man, they really like to smash this thing around the map, but you got to have some serious wide orders. Gosh, is this thing even tradable? The spread doesn't look that bad. Oh, here we go. 4 hour, sure, I'll do that. But look at this 4 hour trend line just off of the that channel that just drifts down. But this is what when markets get into that drift channel, wow, break out of that is pretty vicious. But it seems like they were trying to stop out the guy that has a stop here. I think that's yeah, that's pretty deep. Anyways, wow. Of course, you look at this time frame and you're just thinking, yeah, just buy down here, obviously, right? 100 pips deep. Why kill yourself, right? When you go to that, you keep that 100 pip grid going, and you go to the monthly, and you can't even see where you're at. You know, that's the thing. These markets are so deep. It all depends what time frame you're on. I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of curious on some of these things in the long run. Of course, in the short run, for me, it'd always be this entry here. And just pattern-wise, I thought this was kind of funny earlier. Just in closing here, I had this on the daily, dollar Swiss, and I had this on the weekly. It was so funny to think that it's the exact same pattern, different time frame. So when I got this here, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but if you look at this thing, you're like, wow, look at this. But this is always the big deal pivot, and this one's spaced out a little bit, stretched out a little bit more, but it's the same story, and it's also the same story where they kind of cut through it, because everybody has orders there, everybody knows that game, so they have to drive it. The market makers will drive it deeper. They will always overshoot the runway. On the daily here, thinking of the same situation for setup entry only. This is a vicious market. This currency pair is, I would say, I don't want to say unstable, but it's very rangy. This is a range trader's dream, this currency pair. But you really got to trade like wow, you got to be ready for some punishment. Spread looks tight though. But it's kind of a random fill. I don't think you'd be running moving averages on that. This, I don't know, maybe, of course, let me go to the daily. Kind of distorting the story here. This thing, same story here, I think, actually. This has actually got like a structure you're going to be buying here. You know, buy the dollar, sell the Swiss. I do think that if gold's going to go down, the dollar will kill the Swiss, and the euro might have to take some more punishment if it can't hold this daily trend line here. So we're forming a triangle here on the daily. Those are great scalps in there, but for the people that want to sit back and really be picky about their entry, you're always thinking in terms of prices like this. You know, good old boring trading. You have a buy limit here, they come down, you fill you. You got some scalps and you cleaned up pretty good on that. Of course, they ran up and grabbed all the breakout traders' stops. They grabbed them right there and ripped it back on them. They punished the breakout traders, the people that place orders at the, and the trend was staying up too on this, so they got burned. So I'd say out of these three pairs, certainly, obviously, having a buy limit here is pretty conservative, and having one here and just set that one up. And here it's going to be the same story, going to be down at the retest for the low risk entry. High risk entry is probably going to be, you figure if they're going to stop hunt that guy, maybe here. But maybe you don't go filled here, but here's the painfully obvious buy limit. Of course, they could overshoot again and crush the bulls back to here. So you guys be prepared for a worst case fill. Certainly when you buy at the market, unless you're on the 1 minute chart, unless you got a good rhythm, I think that is definitely sure disaster. Scalping, I guess you really gotta, I think psychologically have a pending sitting there, and if you don't get filled, okay, I didn't get filled within, it's been 3 hours, let me just buy here. And that way you're scaling in if you do think it's going up. But anyways, that's my thumbnail sketch of the market.